Hey, this is Jared from Gertrude, and congratulations on making it through the onboarding steps. In this video, I'm going to try to just really briefly show you how to use the main parts of Gertrude so that you'll have a successful time protecting your children. A quick note about how this video works. I'm going to be going back and forth between showing you two different screens. The one that you're looking at right now with the black background represents you logged in as the parent into the Gertrude parent site. And that's where you do various parental tasks like giving keys and approving filter suspensions, reviewing screenshots, stuff like that. And the multicolored screen is the child's computer that is being protected. That's the one that you just finished the onboarding process on and are probably watching this video on. So we'll start you over in the parent's website. If you don't have it pulled up already on your phone or on another computer, go ahead and do that. If you go to parents.gertrude.app, if you're not already logged in, just put your email and password in, and you should see something sort of similar to this. A quick note, if you're on your phone, you may not see the sidebar. It might look like this, and just anytime I'm accessing the sidebar, you'll click the little hamburger icon and you can use these links here. The first thing I want you to do is really briefly go over to the Children tab and find and click Edit for the child that you created and just onboarded. Mine's called Franny. Once you're here, I just want you to quickly enable both of the monitoring options. So click Enable Keylogging if it's not already turned on, and Enable Screenshots. And after you enable screenshots, let's turn this number down smaller to around 30 seconds. You can always come back and turn these off later, but by turning these on now, it'll show you kind of how these work, and it'll give you a sense of whether you want to use these features with your child. After you've turned them both on, you need to scroll down and click Save Child. And while we're over here, we're going to do one other thing, which is set up a couple of notifications. You may notice if you're on the dashboard that Gertrude is prompting you to create a notification. If we click this, it'll take us into the settings area. In the settings screen area, you'll see that we have this section labeled notification methods, and it already is pre-filled with an email address, the one that you signed up with. Just for the sake of demonstration, I encourage you to add a method right now. You can also create a text message notification or a Slack. Let's make one for text because that's probably the most common way that parents like to get notified. Just put in your phone number here and click to have a verification code sent. And when you get that one-time code, just plug it in here. And once you've verified that method once, you'll be able to use it to create a notification down here at the bottom. So I want you to do this 2 times. We're going to click it the first time and select either your email address or the text notification you just created, and create one for what are called suspension requests, and we'll get to that in a moment. So go ahead and click Save. And then let's make another one. I'm going to also use my text phone number here for unlock requests, and save. Okay, with those preparatory steps out of the way, we're going to head over to the computer that is being protected by Gertrude, where you just installed the Mac app, and we're going to show you how the filter works. So if you pull up a web browser like Safari, you'll notice that nothing works. I can't go to any of these sites. They are all blocked, and that's because of how Gertrude works. It blocks the entire internet by default, and you have to open up the websites that you feel are safe. So this is super great because it is incredibly safe, but it's also not terribly useful at the moment. We need to allow some parts of the internet for our child to have access to. And there are 3 main ways of doing this. We're going to quickly walk through all 3. The first one is by adding a public keychain to your child. So to show you this, let's try going to the popular educational website khanacademy.org. And it's blocked like everything else. If we go back to the parent's website and click Children and then edit our current child, what we can do is add a keychain, and this will pop up a screen showing you that you have no personal keychains yet. We'll get to that in a moment, but also giving you a whole list of public keychains that you can add. I'm going to select Khan Academy and click Add Keychain, and then we need to click Save Child. Now, once we've done that, we can come back over to your child's computer, and if we refresh this page, you'll see that instantly it is unlocked. So that's adding a public keychain. We have a growing list of common websites that parents might want to unblock. And if you're trying to give access to something that we already have a public keychain for, just pull it off the list and it works super great. The second way of granting access to part of the internet is by creating a key manually, which is probably the least common way that parents use, but it's also kind of important to see it and do it one time. So to do this, there's just a couple steps. Again, back in the parents' website, click on the keychains link, and then I want you to create a keychain. You can give it any name you want. You can change it later. I'll call this Franny's Keys, but you can name it whatever you want. And once you've created it, I want you to click Create Key, and then we're going to choose Website Key. This screen has all kinds of options that are worth exploring later, but for now, just kind of let's pick the simplest defaults that we're trying to grant access to a specific website. You can click Next. And the website that we are trying to grant access to is rosettastone.com. So go ahead and just add that exact website. You can always delete this later. Click Next. All web browsers is fine. And we don't need an expiration or a comment, so you just click Create Key. And now we have a keychain called Franny's Keys with one key unlocking rosettastone.com. Now, back on the child's computer, if you try to go to Rosetta Stone, and I encourage you to try this, you'll notice that it is still blocked, and that is because there is one more step we need to do on the parent side, and that is we actually have to give this keychain to the child. That's because your children don't automatically get all the keychains you create. That gives you flexibility to, if you're protecting multiple children, to give certain kids certain keychains and group your keys into logical groupings that make sense for certain kids and not others. So that's why we have this concept of a keychain, and why you need to do this one more step, which is to go back to children, click to edit your child, come down here, add a keychain, and now up top under your keychains, we should see the keychain we just created. And if we click add and then save, we can come back to the child's computer and reload, and Rosetta Stone is working just fine. And now for the third and probably most common way that parents unlock parts of the internet. I will show you using an unlock request. So let's imagine for this that our child is trying to go to howtotype.com, and I encourage you to type that in and just verify that it's blocked. The filter is working. But now I want you to go up to the Gertrude menu bar icon and click to view the network requests. This is going to bring up a window that allows you to see what Gertrude is blocking. And I'm going to arrange my windows a little bit better here so that we can see both these at the same time. Now, if I try to refresh this Safari page again, you'll see that Gertrude gave us a record of the fact that it just blocked this. And if you tried to go to other websites, you'd see those as well. And if you have a lot of other apps running, you might see a whole big list of blocked requests in here. And if that's the case, you can isolate something like maybe by typing Safari, you'll get only the requests from Safari. That's the only request I have anyway, but if there were a whole bunch of other ones, that filter technique is really helpful. So this allows your child to see what they just got blocked, and if they think it's important for them to have access to this, what they can do is click on it and then give you an explanation if they want to, and click to send an unlock request. And this is where it's important that we created that notification because I just got a text message letting me know that my child is asking to have howtotype.com unlocked. And if I click on that link and load it up, you'll see that we have a record of the unlock request that was just sent with the address, and I can choose to accept it. And if I do, I have to pick a keychain, and that's why we needed to create a keychain first. So I'm going to go ahead and add it to my only keychain, which is Franny's Keys. And then it's going to bring me to that screen where we just manually created one like this for Rosetta Stone, but now it's all filled out for me. So this is why this way is often used. It's a lot easier. You can edit this and you can inspect it if you want, but if everything looks good, just click Submit and you accept. And then you can see over on the child's computer that they got one of these notifications that we just turned on that their unlock request was accepted. And so if they refresh, you'll see that now they have access to howtotype.com. Next, I want to briefly explain and show you how filter suspensions work. In Gertrude, your child can request to temporarily have the filter suspended. And this works well if you have the monitoring feature turned on, because Gertrude will be always telling your child that their keystrokes and their screen are being monitored if you have those features turned on, which we did at the beginning of these videos. And that also means that for short, unusual bursts of internet activity where you don't want to create keys, you may choose to suspend the filter, and your child can request to have the filter suspended for a given period of time. So to show you how this works, imagine they wanted to go to, say, apple.com. So I'm just going to click that, and I am blocked. Next, I want you to go up to the Gertrude icon in the upper right-hand corner and click this Suspend Filter button. This brings up a little screen that allows you to pick how long. Let's set 5 minutes, and it also allows a comment explaining why, which they can fill out or leave blank. But if they click to request a suspension, then you will get a text notification if you've set it up as a text notification. If I click that link on my phone where I'm logged in, we'll see that I get to respond to this suspend filter request. And you can change the amount of time. You can also add extra monitoring options if you want. You can deny it if you don't think it makes sense. But if you click Grant, then over on your child's computer, they have gotten a notification that the filter is temporarily disabled. And now if they refresh, they can go to Apple, and they can go anywhere on the internet at all. But the screen is still being captured every 30 seconds, and everything that they type is also being captured. One quick note, you can also suspend the filter. Let me resume it here. If the filter is on, you can click Suspend Filter, and if you, the parent, are physically there on the computer and you don't want to create a notification, you can just click this button right here, Grant Suspension, and as long as you put in a username and password, then the filter will be suspended without needing to create a notification and respond to it via a text message. And that's almost it. The only last thing I want to show you is, now that we've been working for a little while, if we go back into the parents' website and go to the dashboard, you'll see that we have a recent screenshots widget that's showing what Gertrude has been recording of your child's screen. And if you come down here to this activity widget, you can click to see all of your child's activity. And here you can see screenshots that have been taken and uploaded for your review as a parent. And there's a whole bunch in here because we've been taking them once every 30 seconds. And you can approve them, which is sort of like deleting them individually, or you can review a whole bunch at once. You can see that the stuff they type gets recorded and gets displayed. And if we come all the way to the bottom, we'll see a button where we can approve all of these when we're satisfied. And that shows you how to review the activity of your child while they're online. And that's it. You know all the basics now. So good luck protecting your child with Gertrude. And if you have any questions or any problems whatsoever, please reach out to us at gertrude.app/contact.